6, 2020, beginning at 6 p.m. Due to the health and safety concerns related to the COVID-19 coronavirus, this meeting will be conducted by video conference or telephone call. At least a quorum of the board will be participating by video conference or telephone call in accordance with the provisions of section 551.125 or 551.127 of the Texas Government Code that have not been suspended by order of the governor. This special board meeting will be virtual via Zoom, and it will be live streamed. Actually, will it be live streamed, or are we just recording it for future view?
It is being recorded.
Okay, it will be recorded for future view on YouTube at Little MISD TV. So we will not need to call the meeting into closed. So we will just stay into open session, and we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We're still on. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under
God,
indivisible,
liberty,
with liberty
and
and justice for all. All right. Now, Texas flag. Perfect. All right, thank you. So we'll also have a introduction and roll call. Ms. Flores?
Yes, sir. We have Mr. English, Ms. Myers, and Mr. Flores not present.
Okay. All right, perfect. Do we have any citizen input or anything like that?
No, sir.
Sonia, I'm here. I don't know. Do you guys want me to be here or not?
Oh,
No, you said Myers, not
Oh,
Harding.
I'm sorry, Ms. Harding. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so we have Dan, Melissa, Jason, and myself. Okay. All right, so then for that, we'll just move into the action items. Dr. Mika, we have a discussion to consider approval of the bilingual and ESL summer school.
Yes, President Montemayor, Superintendent Gallagher, and board members. Every year we are required to serve our students that were in bilingual and ESL in the school year that were in pre-K and kindergarten in a summer school session for 120 hours. And so we weren't sure if this was going to have to be completed or not, or waived. And so we have decided to conduct those requirements through a at-home learning using Texas at-home summer learning packets that the state will deliver directly to the student's home. And then we will hire teachers in the bilingual and ESL certifications in pre-kindergarten and kindergarten to support the students at no larger a ratio of 18:1 per state regulations. We have an approximate start date of June 15th. That's a little bit fluid because if you approve this, then I have to submit our order, and then the packets will be shipped to the students' homes. And once we have been notified that those have been arrived by our students, then we will be able to begin. And so this will take us approximately 15 days at 8 hours of learning a day for us to complete the 120 required hours. The financial implications, we'll be paying for this with our at-risk funds, our state comp ed PIC 24, and it's approximately $54,000 of extra duty pay for those teachers. And this will include a week of prep time for them, as they won't be online the entire 8 hours of the day. We just have to ensure that we are providing enough work that it would take us a student 120 hours to complete the work. The packets will include instruction in both reading and math. and our teachers will use the week prior to starting to look at the packets that the state has provided, and then to come up with a schedule and the exact activities within that packet that the students will be completing. And then they will be available by phone call or Zoom meetings for those students that need support. And then they'll also be offering some Zoom times for students for activities such as read alouds, show and tell, etc., to help the students with their language development. So the administration recommends approval of using an at-home learning platform for the required 120 hours of summer school for current pre-K and kindergarten bilingual and ESL students.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept this summer program as described by Dr. Mika?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. I guess I have a couple questions right off the bat. What was the criteria for, I know you explained this right at the beginning, but I might have missed it. What was the criteria for who needs to complete this over the summer?
We don't the students aren't required. We have to provide an opportunity for any student that was last year a pre-kindergartner or a kindergartner that was in a bilingual or ESL program. And so we have about 200, roughly about 220 students that are were served in those two programs that we have to provide an opportunity to them to attend the learning.
Okay, so we just need to provide them the opportunity. Do we have any expectation for how many of those will take up this opportunity?
We don't right now. What we're doing is that we have a document that will be emailed to all of the parents of those students that ask to let them know that we are going to continue this year, but that it will be conducted via at home with packets that will be shipped directly to the home, but that we will have teachers that are available for support. Any of the 220 students' families that we do not hear from, teachers will be, the teachers that we hire will be making those phone calls to see if they want to participate. And once we get a firm number, then that's how many teachers we will hire. We have about 18 teachers that have expressed interest. We won't need all of them. So we'll start, once we get a firm count of the students that will be participating, then we'll know how many teachers that we'll be hiring to meet that no more than 18 students to one teacher ratio.
Okay, but now are we charged by the number of packets we send out or just by those that take advantage of it?
So that will be the next action item, is to approve the packets that we'll be purchasing.
Okay, so then, okay, so on this, so these are packets that they can complete at home without internet access or anything like that. And then the assistance will be either through internet or cell phone or however, I guess we can communicate with those families.
Correct, correct. It was just really hard for us to imagine trying to bring students into a school setting right now, and being able to do that without having 100% clear guidance of how that needed to work. And so the state actually prepared these summer bridge packets that we were then late last week told that we would be able to utilize for this purpose.
Okay.
And we are charged per packet that is mailed to a student. And the students are available, we would upload a spreadsheet and it will tell the students whether they what their language of instruction is. And so if their language of instruction is English, they will receive an English packet. If their language of instruction is Spanish, they would receive a Spanish packet.
Dr. Mika,
Yeah.
I think it's important to point out that, you know, and you can get to it in the next agenda item or action item, that it is a requirement, and President Montemaro, good question, but it is a requirement that we offer it to every student. So even if a student doesn't choose, or a family chooses not to participate in it, we still have to offer that. And
So
that's by TA regulations.
And I guess my question will be more relevant in the next section. It's, are we I guess, what are we basing the number of packets we're buying on? Those that respond to say they'll do it, or all those that are eligible?
Those
I
that
No,
are,
it
assume there's
sounds like,
a pretty big gap.
it sounds like to me, Cyndy, we're doing 220 packets regardless. That's what the cost is going to be for us. So, because every kid that was enrolled this past year, we have to send an opportunity to. So
Correct.
we're going to send 220 packets out. Then we're going to wait to see how many respond so that we know how many are in there. Their language of choice, to David's point and your point, would be based upon what information they gave us before they left school and what program they were in. So the question I have, you said we have 18, I think you said roughly 18 teachers that has expressed interest. Is this kind of one of those where we're saying, okay, we've got kind of an order of 1 through 18, we're going to call you as we need you? Because if, let's roughly say 20 kids out of 220 say, yes, I want this, then that really means we only need 2 teachers. Is that correct?
Yeah, we might need 4 because we would need
Yeah, ESL, I see what you're saying, ESL, I got you, okay, that's fine. Okay, and the 54,000 is just the extra pay duty for the it could be up to that amount. Doesn't mean it's going to be that amount. That would be if we're probably going to have to hire by my calculation, we would need somewhere between 12 to 16 teachers.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
okay,
That's
all right,
the
that answers my questions.
What we did was we looked at it based on that 120 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a flat rate this year on that pay of $3,600, knowing that the teachers may not be online all the time because this is especially if they're bilingual, they might be coming from areas of our district that we can't serve through internet. And so the teachers are probably going to be spending a lot of time on their phones, making contact with people because we also have to take attendance daily.
Okay, and so the teachers we're going to have some type of 800 number to dial into? Or are they just going to call teachers directly on their cell phone?
Our phone system at work, because all of our teachers have a phone extension in their classroom, it's called 8x8. And so we all installed that on our cell phones in March. That was one of our learning activities that every staff member had to do. And when we log into the 8x8 system and we call anyone, it actually shows up as our school extension.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Great questions.
Okay, Dan or Melissa, do you have any questions?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Hey, David and Leanna joined us, just so you're aware.
Oh, perfect. Leanna, do you
Yeah,
have any questions?
and I was going to say, Jason, you asked my question, so I'm good because I was wondering about the cost. So.
Okay. Well, then with that, is there a we've already first and seconded it. Now, all those in favor of approving the bilingual program as discussed? Okay, Leanna's a yes. Jason's a yes. Dan's a yes. Melissa's a yes. I'm a yes. Okay. So all those of us that are on the line voted yes. All right, thank you. Motion passes. Guess the second item, which Dr. Mika, you said it's discussing the packets for that program.
Yes, so we will be using the packets for the bilingual ESL program, but the packets are available from the state for all grades. And so because we are concerned about what they're calling the COVID slide, we wanted to be able to offer our at-risk students that would typically come to a summer school in kindergarten through 8th grade. We wanted to be able to offer them these packets as well. And we have about 2,000, a little bit over 2,200 students that are coded at risk in our system. And so we are proposing that we have these packets sent to the homes of all of our at-risk students so that parents can utilize them this summer if they choose to help their students mitigate any learning gaps that might have been caused by the spring shutdown. And so looking at the cost estimate, and I shared that in an Excel sheet, that we are looking at approximately right under $80,000 to ship all of these packets to every student that is coded at risk. That will include those bilingual and ESL students that were mentioned in the first item that you already approved. So instead of just ordering 220 packets only for those bilingual ESL, we wanted to be able to put something in the parents' hands that they could work on at home over the summer at their own pace, and hopefully for us to help mitigate that learning gaps that might have occurred for these students. These, the funding would be coming from state compensatory funds. We had extra funds this year because typically those are paid for tutoring, star prep, etc. At the campuses. And so we have well above this the state compensatory funds. Jesse in the business office and I sat down on Friday and worked everything up. And so this still leaves quite a bit of money in that PIC 24 state comp ed monies. So this was a way that we would be able to address, because we weren't able to provide packets during the spring shutdown. This would at least get packets into the hands of the parents that wanted to work with their students over the summer.
Okay.
And so we are recommending the purchase of the Texas Home Learning Packets for the Summer Bridge program, which would cost approximately a little bit less than $80,000.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve these packets?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Olson, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Blackwood, perfect. Okay, so I guess kind of a continuation. And so the ones that are mandatory are the 200, but we are wanting to do it for the 2,200 that are considered at risk. Is there too much of a time lag to try and, I guess, ask the additional 2,100, 2,120 or whatever, the 2,100 that are additional beyond what we are required to, if they want the packet or not? Or is it a timing thing that we're just going to send them all, or do we want to just be able to say, hey, look, we've given it all the opportunities available to the parents?
Yeah, because of the timing on this, and in order for us to get the order in and then printed, what TA has done is they have contracted with a printing company. And so they will, once we share we wouldn't be sharing a student's name, we would be sharing a parent's name and a parent's address, but no information about the student, just their home language and their language of instruction. And then that would send the packets to the students' homes. We thought that this would be a good way that we would be able to promote with our students through letters, emails, blasts, that these would be arriving, that the parents would have this as an option of something to work on with their students during the summer. So our goal is to try to send these to all of our at-risk students, because that's who we would normally have invited to summer school.
Dr. Mika, can you?
So I think, hold on, Daniel, sorry, 1 second. So Cyndy, just to clarify, just to make sure everybody's, so this is more than just our ESL and bilingual kids. This is every kid we've classified K through 8 as at risk that's going to get a quote at home packet to help some learning at your own pace throughout the summer.
Correct.
Okay, but of those 2,200, 200-ish are the ESL and bilingual kids that also fall into this category.
Correct.
So the only question I have before Daniel, I'm sorry, real quick, is you said we have some extra PIC dollars. Have we considered getting maybe a couple teachers to kind of be on call in case issues with this packet or anything? I'm just curious.
We've talked about it. We hadn't finalized that yet.
Okay.
It's not a decision that had been made yet.
Okay, perfect. Just asking. Didn't know if we'd considered that. Thank you.
And then, Dr. Mika, will you go over again the funding, where the funding's coming from, and then if we don't use these funds for this, what happens to those funds?
Well, we're not, okay, so if we have lots of money left in here. we have about $540,000 roughly that we have taken back from the campuses. We will be using approximately $110,000 for the high school virtual summer school to pay those teachers. And then the $54,000 that was just approved, that's at the max, that we would be utilizing for the bilingual ESL. And then this would be another $80,000. And then if we don't use this money, we're not quite sure where it goes yet. Typically, we have to spend the entire allotment, 55% of the allotment, which is the that's included in that amount.
But I think, Dr. Mika, I just want to be clear that it doesn't roll over or go to the general fund. And, you know, we're really restricted on how we can use this money. So this is one of those areas that we feel would be beneficial for our kids, especially consider what we're calling the COVID slide. You know, it's an opportunity to provide some enrichment. Again, it's very hard, and we saw this even with online learning. It's hard to monitor that. You know, when students are not in our buildings with our teachers, there's always going to be that potential where they may not participate to the level that we want them to participate. But we feel that if we did not offer this, it would not be providing some opportunities that we feel our kids really do deserve.
Right. Well, Daniel, and that's where my question went to about the staff for the other grades, is if we do have these extra dollars and we can do something similar to what we did on the first group to make these teachers online, but not only online and available, but online and following up, making sure the kids are doing their packets, kind of helping push them to make sure that we're giving them the best opportunity possible by kind of having them check in during the summer with these kids on a regular basis.
And no, that's a good point. I think that's the intent of those positions. Dr. Mika, do you want to
Yes,
add to that?
Of the bilingual ESL pre-K positions. And we have Ross Roberts and I met with our principal for this summer school program. And that was something that we had originally, you know, batted around, was being able to hire some of these, some additional teachers to, as a support, that they would be available online if a parent had questions about the activity, one of the activities in the packet. It's just nothing that had been finalized yet.
Okay. So I guess that's something we can follow up on after we send the packets out and see where we stand with how many we need from that first batch, and then see what's left after that.
Yeah, and what we can do is, if it's approved, then we can have a Google form created that and some promotional letters, emails that go out to these parents that are coded at risk, saying that, you know, your student is coded at risk, and as a result, the district has approved the purchase of Summer Bridge at home learning packets that will be shipped directly to your home. You know, if you want to participate, let us know, and then we can look at that to see teacher grade levels that we might want to hire as support.
Okay. All right, any further questions? Okay, so all those in favor of approving the purchase of these packets? I see Mr. Olson, yes. Mr. Blackwood, Ms. Myers, and Ms. Harding, and myself, yes. All right, motion passes, or motion carries. All right, I guess, I mean, I don't really have any comments other than, you know, just thank you for staying on top of all these issues. I know this was a, you know, special meeting called just for these items, but, you know, I do appreciate that. Yeah, I know that COVID has brought on all these issues, and, you know, that, you know, you're staying on top of things, and if we need to schedule these meetings, we can still do so, and we have that flexibility. So I appreciate everybody for that. Is there any additional comments?
Nope. I'm glad we've got this available.
Yep. All right, perfect. Mr. Gallagher?
Yeah, again, board members, thank you all for being flexible. I know you guys are all busy, and President Montemayor, I see you're in your car. I know you guys are busy, but just thank you so much for being flexible, because some of these things are we do have to pull together at the last minute to make these decisions. So appreciate y'all's support and appreciate Dr. Mika, her leadership on this, and as well as Ross Roberts. So thank y'all so much.
All right, well, thank you very much. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Deanna's got first, I got second.
All right, all those in favor? All right, see, we're all yays. All right, well, thank you very much. We will adjourn the meeting at 6:26 p.m.
All right, buddy.
Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
thank you, everybody.